because the movement must go on. Today we'll hear from a guest who played a pivotal role in Kenya's End Femicide movement, a campaign that went viral early this year and demanded attention to the epidemic of gender-based violence that's happening in Kenya. Those platforms to mobilize at the grassroots level, do you use it for public awareness? Maybe speak to us a little bit about that.
Yes, I use social media platform in mobilization. In that, for example, you can relate with that femicide march that was earlier this year. We as Feminists for Peace Center, we write on our page, we'll be meeting at Olympic at a certain time, come wearing this and this. So people come there when they are ready, they know what they're going to do. Like we even give highlights on what we are going to do and we go from there.
Hello everyone, welcome to Resist and Reimagine, the new wave of feminist activism. You're watching this on Andaria's channel because this conversation has been brought to you by Andaria. Now in today's episode, we'll dive into the transformative impact of digital platforms on feminist organizing, focusing especially on how Gen Z feminists are redefining activism and resistance through social media. We've got the millennials, we've got the Gen Alpha, we've got the baby boomers, we've got the Gen Xs, but today we're talking about the Gen Zs. Now, we are in an era where activism isn't just happening on the ground, but it's also unfolding online, reshaping, how we connect, mobilize, and amplify all our cases. As feminist movements grow, we must also allocate space to discuss the severe abuse that is often witnessed and faced by mobilizers and activists. This abuse spans both online and offline environments, posing significant challenges to their work and, of course, their well-being as well. Activists have been navigating these obstacles with innovative solutions that not only protect them, but also sustain their efforts because the movement must go on. Today we'll hear from a guest who played a pivotal role in Kenya's End Femicide movement, a campaign that went viral early this year and demanded attention to the epidemic of gender-based violence that's happening in Kenya. It was a huge movement and she works quite a lot with gender-based violence victims at the grassroots level. As we witness a global rise in anti-rights sentiments, understanding these grassroots movements becomes crucial for us to be able to sustain progress in gender equality. I know when we talk about digital activism, some are for it, some are against it, but we hope that at the end of this discussion, we will be able to pull you to be for it. To start, we'd like to talk about, the digital activisms and how the different platforms that you are on, like Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and all those other platforms have revolutionized the feminist movement. And for many Gen Z activists, these platforms offer a way to bypass the traditional barriers, build a community, and then to, of course, advocate for change globally. Because 1 minute you've posted it in Kenya, but the second someone in Korea, someone in Morocco, someone in Ghana, and someone in Nigeria is watching and listening and connecting with what you've put. Because what makes digital activism powerful is that it allows anyone from anywhere to amplify their voice, to connect with others, and to raise awareness on the different issues that are there on a massive scale. Social media, particularly for us Gen Z, isn't just a tool, but it's our natural environment because it's where we share stories, it's where we express ourselves, it's where, we are able to organize, we are able to mobilize. And the End Femicide movement is an example. We, of course, had other Gen Z protests again across the year that are perfect examples of how digital activism is being used in different movements. Of course, this movement doesn't only bring attention to GBV, but it also forces institutions to listen. We recently saw the Kenyan president address the issue of femicide in Kenya, and this was after people had spoken about it severally on the different platforms that are there. So hashtag and viral posts, of course, have then become very powerful tools to spotlight this issue, making it impossible to ignore. Think about the last time you asked someone, what is trending? That is a powerful tool. So I'll go right to my guest, allow her to introduce herself, allow her to tell us what role she played in the End Femicide movement. Was she a part of it? Did she attend the march? Was she online? Has she used any of these platforms in her digital activism? Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, my name is Atieno. I work at Feminist for Peace, Right and Justice Center. I worked as a coordinator in a thematic area called Climate Action and Livelihood. And at Feminist for Peace Center, our main agenda is ending gender-based violence. And I identify myself as a radical feminist. I am passionate in ending femicide. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Diana. And we're really thrilled to have you here, not just because you're a Gen Z, but also because of the work that you've been doing and what you have been doing at the grassroots level. Mm-hmm. Now, are you on any social media platform?
Yeah, I'm on social media platform.
Uh-huh.
I am on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I am on IG. Mm-hmm. I am on TikTok. I am on Twitter.
Okay.
I am on Snapchat.
So how have you used those platforms in your digital activism, and how has the rise of social media changed the landscape of feminist activism? Of course, with the grassroots mobilization, do you use those platforms to mobilize at the grassroots level? Do you use it for public awareness? Maybe speak to us a little bit about that.
Yes, I use social media platform in mobilization, in that, for example, you can relate with that, the femicide march that was earlier this year. Mm-hmm. We as Feminist for Peace Center, we write on our page, we'll be meeting at Olympic at a certain time, come wearing this and this. So people come there when they are already ready, they know what they're going to do. Like we even give highlights on what we are going to do, and we go for the work.
So a lot of people who came to the movement saw it on the digital platforms that are there. And so how has this been able to help you get institutional response? Because I know we've seen a lot of institutions that are responding, and it's very inspiring to see how you're using this digital space to advance the feminist causes and to mobilize others, like you've said, telling them, come wearing this is where we are meeting, come prepare, this is what we are doing. Are you able to maybe share a story from that campaign that stayed with you? Can you share a specific example from the End Femicide movement that really illustrates the power of hashtags and viral posts in driving real world actions? What is one story that has really stuck?
One story about how it has stuck, about what worked for us well when we were going for that walk.
Right.
Like, we didn't know the number will be great as it was. We just thought that we'll be just the members at Feminist for Peace Center. But you see, when we had put the post on Facebook and TikTok and on our status, like you find the Gen Z were like asking, what time will we be coming? And what should we carry? What time will we be walking to town, or will we be going with bus? Like, you see, everyone was coming prepared, knowing that this and this and this and this will going to be happening. And I really liked the fact that social media is helping, making work easier. You don't have to go in someone's door knocking. Tomorrow is our femicide walk. Yeah.
So you've worked also with a lot of GBV cases, and a lot of these cases are then what transition into the femicide cases that we've been seeing. What are some of the stories? What is one particular instance that stuck with you? What is that one instance that you had to go to social media to create attention to that particular story for some change to happen?
I can remember there was a girl who was raped. She was a young girl. She was around class 7-6. This girl, the mother came to the office crying that her daughter had been raped, and the perpetrator was her biological father, was saying that she had not raped the girl. The girl is lying. The girl has been sleeping out there with boys, and the girl was brought to the office. We talked to her, we gave her counseling, because, rape cases is not an easy task, and sometimes you get the victims find it hard even to talk about it. Now there were procedures. They talked to that girl. After talking to that girl, after having to know that this girl was really raped, we took her to the hospital. which showed that she was actually raped. We went to the police, to the chief at Olympic. We wrote a note, and the file was opened. They went for the case. It took too long. We even thought that this case the perpetrator will not be justice. But we thank God the perpetrator was arrested, and up to date he is in custody. But what helped us so much was we wrote on our page, we are on our social media, Facebook. After that, there were some people who worked with gender-based violence. They came in through the post. They asked what had happened. After that, the case was fastened, and the perpetrator was arrested.
So did you use social media in any way for this case?
Yes. When the case was it was not going somewhere, after posting, there was another group which came in, and they came up with good lawyers who could help the case move faster.
And I like that you've pointed that out, because then it means that organizations are also collaborating based on the work that you're doing on these digital platforms. Yeah. It means that it's not just mobilizing, but you're also able to collaborate with other similar organizations. Now, Gen Zs have made it very clear that they're leaderless.
Yeah.
And that there is no one better than the other, that we are all coordinating, we are mobilizing, but there is no leader. And so this decentralized organizing is quite new. But what is the strength, what is the advantage of this in fostering resilience amongst you activists, amongst yourselves?
The best thing with Gen Zs, they are united. And the fact that there is no leader, when we come up together, we want to go for demonstration or walk, we don't look up to somebody. You just look up to yourself, and you say, me as a Gen Z, I want to do this. There is no leader. Now, nobody is focusing on the leader. We are just, all of us, our minds are, we want to end femicide. Now the work is about femicide. Come prepared. The way we post on our social media platform, we come prepared. We meet at our point and we start the work. Yeah, there is no leader.
So what is the advantage of that? Because some say that is a very disorganized way of doing things. Some say that, you had some of the comments, and I remember even during the last femicide, there are some leaders who wanted to come and, Gen Z said, no, the End Femicide movement, this is what we're about. You cannot come and try and take credit for this work. So what is the advantage of this decentralized organizing?
The advantage of this is no one is paid to do the work. We do it out of our heart, and we do it with determination. Now we are not focusing on a certain leader, like this one should be telling us what to do. Now you get, we are self-disciplined. Now we know we want to do this. We are not looking up to somebody so that to tell us what to do, to control us, in short. Now this make work very easier and organized. Since after the post, you just come organize. There is nobody who is coming to tell you, do this, do that, don't do this. Yeah. And I get it working than having a leader. We're not focused on a person. Yeah.
You're focused on the cause. You're focused on what is pushing you. And I love that you've been very serious about it. There's a quote that I see you often use in your posts. Remind them even if they know.
Yeah, we must remind them.
So has that been the push behind continuing to use this digital activism, and how do you use it in leveraging support mechanisms in face of abuse, and of course in the face of opposition? Because there are areas where I'm sure you've gone to and you've received a lot of opposition, or you've received insults, you've received some abuses. How do you leverage for support, and how do you use these digital platforms to also just keep yourself united?
this quote keeps us going in that these perpetrators, they know what they're doing is not right. So we always say we should tell them, they must hear, we must say it, because the everything bad happens in silence. Now when we keep quiet, like perpetrators, they will take advantage of us. They will just see like they can't even speak for themselves. Now when we shout at the street, we make noise, the perpetrators feel there is
they feel the pressure is increasing.
Yeah.
And I love that. But when someone hears the abuse that and the opposition that activists face, then they get a bit scared. So if someone would want to become a mobilizer or an activist, what advice would you have for them?
Come prepared. It is not an easy task. Like, feminism is not easy. You must face discrimination. You must be judged. Everything bad. You be ready. Yeah.
So how, if all those things are happening, so why should I be a mobilizer or an activist?
Because you know what you want. You want to end femicide. You want to end gender-based violence. These killings must stop. Now when you are feminist, it comes from your heart. You feel it. You say, I must do it. Because you feel like you can't keep quiet anymore. Mm-hmm. The perpetrators are taking advantage. East, right, left, west. You see, now you come prepared. And what I can say, people should not be afraid of starting. Like, maybe somebody has been somewhere, maybe he or she, most of the time they are usually she's. Mm-hmm. She may be wanting to start, but she fear like, I can't do it. You can look for somebody, or you can look for a group which you can join. You start from there. And since we both need each other, the Gen Zs need each other, the millennials, and the millennials need the Gen Z. What a Gen Z can do, a millennial maybe cannot do, or what a millennial can do, a Gen Z cannot do. We need each other.
And I love that. I love that you say that. We've got the anti-rights movement that, of course, is then pushing for the shrinking of the civic space. They're, of course, at the forefront of rubbishing some of the goals that have been done by feminist movements. Yeah. They are at the forefront of curtailing human rights of individuals. They are at the forefront of making it very difficult for activists and mobilizers as yourself. Mm-hmm. If you were to talk to someone who is in the anti-rights movement, talk to someone who does not believe in the power of digital activism, what would you tell them?
I'll tell them they should not abash us. They should not stop us at any point because they don't know. Until it happens to one of them or anyone close to them, it is when they will know the importance of activism. Yeah.
What would your final remarks be?
My final remarks will be, let's end femicide, stop killing us. The girls are tired. We are tired as young women. Another thing I would like to say, let's call femicide. Let's not call it murder, because this is femicide. It is not murder. Stop sugarcoating it. It is femicide.
So I know a lot of people would then say, if it's femicide, it's murder, why do I need to be active on the digital platform of it? What is the power of digital activism on it? Why should they use digital activism? Do you think it's important in your work? Because there are some who say, you're just making noise online, but it won't go anywhere. Maybe you can speak to that as well.
Social media platform is very important. There is no work without social media. This is because I can even relate. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I've not even prayed, but I'll run to my Facebook, my WhatsApp. You see, like, social media spread things very fast, be it good, be it bad. So I personally have seen the work of social media. Social media is the best thing that has ever happened to my life.
So for those who are saying social media it's only used for entertainment and all that. What needs to happen?
They need to know the importance of social media. Social media is work. People get their basic needs through social media. There are people working online. They just work through. They post something, they get paid, and life goes on. Social media is the best thing.
Now, as we close the End Femicide movement has shown us the power of digital activism. You've heard from her, you've heard from Diana, and she has said that there is no work if there is no social media, or work without social media then does not spread. Now, these young feminists are reshaping what activism looks like. I know they are using humor, meme culture, storytelling, and the power of social media to resist and demand change. Now, for our listeners who are thinking about joining or supporting such movements, here is your takeaway. Digital activism is a powerful tool. The End Femicide KE movement saw thousands of women go to the streets in Kenya just to be able to shout out about this issue. They were mostly mobilized online, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And a number of them showed up. You've heard Diana say they were asking, where do we meet? What do we wear? How do we go about this? And all those were conveyed online. So digital activism is definitely a powerful tool. Yeah. And as we navigate a shrinking civic space, embracing digital activism is not just beneficial, but it is essential to the survival and the growth of feminist movements, because they're now moving from, as Diana said, going door to door and now spreading the information. Because one time you will post it in Kenya and someone in Uganda will see it. Someone in Ethiopia will see it and want to join you. Someone from Tanzania will say, we are also going through the same thing and we'd like to join in. Now, whether you're sharing a story, amplifying a hashtag, or connecting with others, remember that your online actions can drive real world change. We've heard today from our guests that at one point they felt like a gender-based violence case was going nowhere. But the minute that they highlighted this on their social media platform, then they were able to mount pressure for institutions to listen. They were able to get a partner who came on board and said, look, we've got experienced lawyers. We are going to take on this case. And they were able to see that happen. Now, that is real world change. And we are hoping to hear lots of this. Andrea will be sharing different episodes on this YouTube channel. We are able to just listen to the different issues. You're able to hear out different guests. You're able to learn different things. Don't forget to subscribe for more discussions on feminist activism. And if you're ready to take action, you need to find ways to connect with grassroots movements in your area. Before I close, Diana, where do we find you? How do I get into a grassroots movement? Do I just look for them online and register? Do I need to be of a certain caliber to join? How do I get myself to be involved in a grassroots movement?
Like for us, we are located at Olympic, at Kibra, at an organization called Feminist for Peace Center. You can find us on Facebook at Feminist for Peace, Right and Justice Center. We are also at TikTok. We are also at IG as Feminist for Peace, Right and Justice Center. Thank you so much, Diana, and thank you so much to you, our listeners, for listening to us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe under Ria's channel. If you feel like you connected to this, don't forget to share it with someone. If you've got a question, we are on the comment section. If you've got a statement, if you'd like to reach out to us, please do go ahead and share.